Remember when common sense was common? When standing up for what is right was the right thing to do? Welcome to The Right Side. Common sense conversations about Hawaii's political landscape and how it affects you, your ohana, and your community. Join us for the next hour as we cut through the political noise and look at Hawaii from the right side, where public officials and community leaders discuss the policies that affect our future, strategies that move the needle, and highlight leaders that are stepping up to make a difference. Get ready for The Right Side, a common sense conversation.
All right, we're talking opportunity today, guys. I'm excited only because, we work hand in hand in the city to really find ways to help our community, thrive in this, in this struggling economy, but an economy that could grow, with the right help. And a lot of us are looking for whatever we can to supplement our families or maybe jump into a new career. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a fun conversation, hopefully an educated one, so that you guys can get a lot of info and you guys can ask a lot of questions, and you can call us here today at 808-913-6450. By the way, hi everybody, I'm Augie. All right, let's go. All right, this is and Malia is normally here. But today I have from my office Kyle Lindsay. How's it? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
So Kael does my, the Win Back Waipahu thing that we do, and he's the guy that's talking to all the communities, talking to all the business owners in Waipahu. So I thought, perfect, we're going to be talking to OER. Yeah. Right. And this is just another way of, Kael learning a little bit more about, how we can engage, with the small businesses in Ewa and in Waipahu, and, making the walk the block successful so that we can understand and know our community a little bit better. So welcome, Kael.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. So are we ready to introduce our guest today? Because I feel like we're going to be giving out a lot of information. So get your pen and your paper out. And if you want to call, you can. We are live, by the way. I know a lot of the radio shows here are recorded, but we are live. So we want to hear from you at 808-913-6450. Take it away, Kyle.
All right. So joining us today is Amy Asselbaye. She serves as the director of the Office of Economic Revitalization. She's led teams, created policy, and drafted meaningful legislation for state and county governments. Also joining us is Alyssa Goslee. So she serves as the Business and Finance Program Manager for the OER. She oversees the Oahu Business Connector, which is the city's first small business development program. And prior to joining the city, she ran a commercial photography business.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks for being here. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So for those who don't know what the Office of Economic Revitalization, can you share more about what your office does?
Thanks, Augie. Thanks for having us on your show. Great to be here with the fellow city employee. So the Office of Economic Revitalization was created in 2020 when everyone was worried about, how are we going to get through all of this? And how can the city be innovative in terms of the impact that we can have on economic opportunities for individuals and families on our island. And there's some things that the state does, the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, but we really felt at the city that, you probably feel this too, you're close to your neighbors, right? The things that the city does are we pick up the garbage, right? We give you your driver's license. We do these things that are part of everybody's daily life. And we really felt like our work needed to focus in on really the household budget, small businesses, making sure that we have those sustainable, diversified farms on this island so we can get more local food, focusing on regenerative tourism opportunities, meaning those things that support the hospitality industry that are about our small business people, our artists, our musicians, our comedians.
Thank you.
Yep. There's a few of them here.
Yeah.
And so we really just want to help strengthen our economy from the ground up. Right? We want to make sure that everyone, if you're going into the grocery store and your dollar just isn't stretching as much as it was, how can we help your business or your job? How can we help you to earn more in those places where you're, bringing those dollars back to help your family survive and thrive here? And so those are the kind of programs that we're here to talk about today.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to have Alyssa here, who is our leader in terms of small business and entrepreneurship. Our vision for this work is really to create what we call an inclusive entrepreneurship ecosystem. That's like too many syllables.
So break it down so that, the person driving in their car right now, maybe sick and tired of their job, right?
Yeah.
How can we help them? So explain to them that big analogy that you just, yeah.
Well, I'll say personally, I live with an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So I'm a part owner in a small business too. And what I see happen is my husband going to work 7 days a week. And his coffee shop is open from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., but he's there till about 7 p.m. And what we're trying to do is make some of the things that are kind of a part of what make that work hard, what make it harder to get the loan to expand, harder to understand how I create a succession plan, harder to understand if he needs to make a big purchase, where can he get the financing to do that? And so that's what Alyssa's team and our office is all about. One area that we're really focused on is making sure that those mom and pop people running that business just with their dream, with their passion, based in a community, hiring from that community, giving back to that community, that they have a chance to thrive here. So I want to turn it over to Alyssa to talk about what is she doing to make that happen.
All right, Alyssa, come on, get us excited. Get people anticipating, because we're talking about anticipation.
Yeah.
When we were walking into the studios and how because Amy asked me, how much jobs do you have, Augie? And I wear 3 hats. And the biggest thing is that I enjoy doing what I love doing. Right, I've always had an entrepreneur heart and spirit, and you in having that, you gotta be able to wake up every day expecting a lot and anticipating, the excitement of how.
For it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So for me, it's besides the city council, I love just playing. I love being there because I'm learning and I'm growing, and that's the reason why I decided to run, because I wanted to learn and grow and understand why things are the way things are, to really help me as a person, right? Now that I understand it, now I go, oh man, how can I help my community? Yeah. So, tell us what you do.
Yeah, so we lead the Oahu Business Connector, which is a place where folks can go and find free and low-cost resources for small business development. So whether you're looking to write a business plan, or you just want the basics of how do I even start a business? How do I find financing for my business? There can be a lot of noise out there online to try to navigate your way through. And like Amy mentioned, thinking about the mom and pops, the folks who are solopreneurs, or it's just a husband and wife or a partnership that's trying to run a business. And like you mentioned, you're in business because you're passionate about something. Most people don't go into business because they want to run a business.
Right.
But you have to learn all of those things. And a lot of times in the beginning, you have to bootstrap all of those things. You have to figure out, where do I go to register my business? Where do I go to figure out how to market my business? I don't know anything about social media.
Paying taxes.
All of that. Getting a GET license. How do I do all of that?
Yeah.
So the Oahu Business Connector is really just a place where folks can go in and a comprehensive place to find all of the different resources, really focused here on Oahu of how do I start? How do I run a business? And again, they're free and low cost, most of them. So really making it accessible to the average person who might not have a huge amount of money to start a business or run their business. It's just a place to go and find those resources.
That is so good, because I can tell you, when I first started, I had no idea. One, I did comedy for fun, and then I realized, man, it's a business. Right? And then I started hearing, you can easily, if you don't know and you talk to the wrong people, you can get ripped off. And I've gone through that. I paid people that I shouldn't pay, so that I thought they were protecting me. At the same time, they weren't, because they just wanted to come on, keep producing. And, as an entrepreneur, that's what you're thinking. I gotta work. I gotta find ways to, make money. And it's so important because I never had the resources. I just kind of figured it out myself. And, I tell people all the time, if I knew or understood what I know right now, I wouldn't be in a place, where I'm at now, or I could have solved that problem a long time ago. And this is, guys, I don't know if you caught Alyssa, but she said free.
Free.
All right. She never said, this is a monthly thing, subscription. She said FREE, people.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And we talked about like how we want to try to get businesses in my district to, help the employees who are big dreamers, right? To think really outside the box, because when you do that, man, you're not only helping yourself, but you're going to help your community by hiring people, and you need the right steps. So I'm just looking at TikTok. I get it. Right? You go on TikTok, they're telling you, you want to start a business? Right? They do all this thing, how to get an LLC, how to start a nonprofit. And, you're watching a minute and 30 seconds when you can get the resources that the city and county of Honolulu is offering.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's free. If you guys want to call in, I know we're going to a break right now. When we come back, we'll talk more with the Office of Economic Revitalization. It's Augie, and the number here is 808-913-6450. That's 808-913-6450.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
All right, we're talking to the Office of Economic Revitalization. I'm Augie. The number here is 808-913-6450. We're talking small business, entrepreneurship, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Claire, you got a question, huh?
Yeah, so what would you say is like the biggest misconception about what you do? So it's a pretty new office, right? But is there any sort of public misconception about the office, or what are you hearing from the public?
How about also, what have you learned after doing this? Because you and I started at the same time. It's been 4 years. You've seen the challenges. You came in, when a lot of people are at home and just thinking about what they can do, this new thing of working online. But like, what have you learned?
Well, I think from the beginning, as much as it was hard to get, in some ways it wasn't hard to get feedback, because our office started as the hotline to the city. So our initial website, One Oahu, had like 3 million hits, right? So we got a lot of information that we were pushing out, and we got a lot of information from the community about what they needed or what they didn't understand. And so I think one of the things that, other than like being on this planet to have a purpose and to give back, and, to me, I think working in the city is an opportunity to do that. And that's why I appreciate it. But beyond that, our kind of orientation is around trying to make sure that we listen to the people that we're trying to serve. And so we have 2 teams. Alyssa has a team of resource connectors that goes out every single day, literally every single day of the week, and walks door to door and meets with and connects with small business owners and small business staff, right? And asks them, how can I help you? What can we do? Have you heard about this program? What are you looking for? And we also have a team that is working with the immigrant community now, thanks to the city council, because that focus on how can we help folks who are the newest to our islands, who have come here looking for an opportunity and kind of don't understand the system, right? And so that team also is out at the Susanna Wesley Community Center. They're out at Palama Settlement. They're out in your district at the Safe Haven. And so what we really want to do is, again, listen to those people we're trying to serve, bring those city services that we have to them, and like with the oahubusinessconnector.org, connect them to those 80 different small business service providers that are listed on our website. So what have I learned is that we're continually learning, and we are an economic development office that always wants to be responsive and adaptable to what's happening in our economy today, whether it's the unemployment rate going up and down, whether it's the cost of goods affected by tariffs or inflation. We want to be there to help businesses, our community, agriculture, and others to have the resources that they need to respond, to stay in business, whether it's a natural disaster or COVID. We don't want anyone to have to lay someone off or to have to, raise their prices if they don't have to, if we can work with them on other solutions and options just to keep their business going and thrive.
808-913-6450 is the number to call. We are live, by the way. Again, I said this earlier, a lot of the shows are recorded or from the mainland, and we are here live. So if you have a question and you're a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed guy or girl that, thinking about like starting a business, or you own a small business and you want to find ways to help your employees, how has the response been when you go in and you talk to these businesses?
It's great. Sometimes it's a little bit surprising that people are so willing to open up and share their stories and talk about challenges, but more so their successes too. So people are really willing to share with us, especially when we say we're coming from a place of wanting to help, wanting to understand, and wanting to hopefully provide a positive experience where we can.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And do you guys offer any sort of job training? Like, what does that look like for you guys?
So we have a program with the University of Hawaii called Good Jobs Oahu. And if you go to the website, Good Jobs Hawaii, you will be able to access the city or the state funding right there, which provides free job training in areas that help to diversify our economy. And by that, we mean jobs in areas that pay more than $18 an hour, jobs in areas that help us to take care of each other, these kind of jobs that will be there through kind of thick or thin in our economy. Things are going great. This job is there.
There are jobs like that in our.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like if you went and you could find them, or like again, that's the reason why we have you guys on, because you're hearing it. That there are jobs like that, and you can thrive and survive in Hawaii.
Yes,
you can.
You can. And so we're going to be heading out to Waianae at the end of this month to celebrate the graduation of the third cohort from Hui Huliau.
Okay.
And Hui Huliau is a Native Hawaiian corporation. They're a nonprofit entity that is training young people so far, could be older, all ages, in very technical and skilled careers, pathways that may require a certificate or some really technical knowledge, right? But you can get through their training, I'm going to say like 3 to 6 months, and awesome. Go and get a job starting in the $80,000 range. So
you hear that, producer Leo?
The training is not like train you and then, maybe there'll be a job on Oahu in that area. It's training very specific and particular to the employers that are ready to hire, that need people on the job today. And so we're really excited that our city money, the money that you help to appropriate, is going towards this training from the university. Yeah, you're not sitting in a classroom at the university. They're actually in containers out on the west side, hoping to build and expand, but doing a great job getting all of those folks who joined their program at Hui Huliau into jobs.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to help their families.
That is, listen, I'm a huge optimist. Like, I know that we have enough resources, enough land to really, honestly feed our island and take care of our island if we wanted to. If we really, really wanted to. And it's going to take dreamers. So, how do you guys fund or help businesses get funding? And what about nonprofits? Who wants to attack that one?
Sure, I can go for it.
Okay.
Well, there's a few ways. So we do on oahubusinessconnector.org, our website, have a monthly post that updates of different funding opportunities, whether that's grants, loans, training to get funding, all up-to-date information every month of where you can. Some are national grants, some are local. So get on our website, oahubusinessconnector.org. And then we are also launching an incubator, the city's first incubator, in June. And program graduates will also get seed funding at the end of that incubator as well.
Okay, so the website again. This is so important, okay? What's the website again? oahubusinessconnector.org. All right. Yeah. If you need help with the spelling, you can call 808-913-6450. We are live. I see Kael raising his hand. You got a question?
So what are some of the challenges that you see when you're talking to the businesses? Like, what are the things that they struggle with? And I guess what are some of the success stories that you've had too?
That's a great question. They struggle with some of the basic things like hiring and retaining employees can be really difficult. Other things, even things like marketing and how do you navigate social media? How do I find customers and how do I make sure they're the right customers for me? Finances is always a big one. How do I fund my business? How do I access? Do I need a loan? Do I need a line of credit?
Sure.
Do I want a grant? All of those different things. Do I want to go venture capital investment? I don't know. What do I need to do to keep money flowing into my business? So those are some of the challenges, but some of the successes really are when the folks go to our workshops, they're free and they're able to get that information. So we did one last year with our partnership with the Small Business Administration on buying and selling a business. Nice. And that was an amazing one. Folks who were considering buying a business, whether it was from their family member or maybe just somebody else that they knew who was looking to sell, and they realized that there were questions that they hadn't even thought about. So before they pour a bunch of money into buying a business, they were able to sit down and really think through what it would mean for them and their lives.
No, I think that's super important. Yeah. I mean, I get it. We all get on crazy idea, right? But we need to know, A, B, C, D, maybe all the way up to Z, so that you can run a successful business because, just staying alive for the first year can be difficult. And if you get the resources, you understand the challenges, and maybe even the victory, oh boy, think about how much people you're going to help, with just that knowledge, right? Can you share? I know we have about a minute left, and then we'll come back. Oh, we have 2 minutes left. Okay, Producer Leah, thank you for the 2. But can you share a success story maybe of a small business that's thriving right now?
Yeah, so one of the first businesses that we helped came to one of our first small business connections at Kapolei, which we do with the Small Business Administration. And from just that initial meeting, he was able to rethink his whole business plan. And now he's getting state and federal contracts.
Wow.
And his business has really thrived just from that initial conversation of realizing maybe I need to do a little pivot. Maybe I need to rewrite my business plan. And now he's doing a great job.
See, there you go. Guys, free. FREE. Okay, we're talking to the Office of Economic Revitalization. You got a question? We are live. 808-913-6450. That's the number to call. 808-913-6450. This is Augie, the right side, a common sense conversation. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to common sense conversations.
I love it. Producer Leah, you on it. Thank you. She wants to pick up the phone and get people to ask amazing questions, especially if you're an entrepreneur. 808-913-6450. I'm Augie. This is The Right Side, and today we are talking to the Office of Economic Revitalization. We'll get back to the incubation stuff here because You got a question because we want to make sure that people understand how, they can be a part of this.
Yeah, so the program's called Idea to Biz. You guys just launched that. So, just tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, so it's exactly what the name is. It's Idea to Biz. So if you have a business idea and you haven't really done any formal operations, maybe you haven't even made sales yet, this is the incubator. It's the program for you. We are focused on West Side residents, especially along the Leeward Coast, so Waianae, Nānākuli, Makaha, that area. But the program really is to help you really lay the foundation of entrepreneurship. So taking you from just even learning the terms of small business and entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurial mindset to marketing plans, writing a business plan, setting up your finances and your cost of goods and whatnot, what you need to charge your customers or clients. And then at the end, if you graduate the program, there's also seed funding of over $1,000 to go ahead and continue your business operations.
See, that is so good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a young person or, maybe mom and dad, you're driving and your son or daughter, you guys have, a son or daughter that's seriously thinking about man, what's next in my life? And they have this, a crazy idea. Mm-hmm. These are the people that you got to call. So what's the number? What's the number people can call now?
We do, like Amy mentioned, we have a team of resource connectors. You can give them a call. There's a real person behind the email, behind the phone line.
There's a real person.
So yeah, real person. So the number is 768-2622 if you want to give us a call, if you have any questions, or you can visit the website to learn more, and that's oahubusinessconnector.org/idea2biz, and that's the number 2.
Okay, idea to biz. Now, you have local families with internet as well, right? Mm-hmm. Because we saw that, during the pandemic, a lot of families, especially in my community, in District 9, lack the internet service in trying to get the service that they need. So how do you guys help families with the internet?
So that is another program that the federal government is helping to fund. But they require, again, talking to people to try to understand, Spectrum or Hawaiian Telecom, they say you may have really great broadband service in this area, or internet, right? Like when you're going to your phone and trying to search something, maybe. Does it take a long time? Does the page ever download? Some people don't have very strong internet at their house, or they may not have the right kind of device. Because today, having the connection to the internet is having the connection to opportunity, having the connection to healthcare, having the connection if you need to. Maybe you can't go out for food. You need to order from the grocery store. This is where you do it now.
Yeah.
You do
That's
it
why I get
online.
I'm an old man. I'm like, how are you failing in school? When you get everything in the palm of your hand.
It's on your hand.
We remember we had to go to the library.
That's what we discovered. You can go to the library. You can. And they have internet there. But, convenience is a part of the game. And to be able to learn and access these things, maybe you have a disability. Mm-hmm. But what our office took on as part of our responsibility in executing this program is really understanding from the household to, let's say, the nonprofits in our communities, to the businesses, are they having or do they receive the same, bandwidth, the high intensity, that's not the right word, but the fiber, right, to their home or business so they have high-speed internet, like for the modern day, not from 2010, but it's 2025, and we need high-speed internet at our homes. So what we discovered is, yes, there are many pockets on this island that need upgraded infrastructure. And so the University of Hawaii is starting, they have an RFP out, they're reviewing it, a request for proposals, and some of the big services will come in and make sure that everyone has that highest level of internet service in their household or in their business. So that's coming from on the state side. But on the city side, again, we helped to understand what's happening at the household, what's happening at the business level. And now we are receiving $1 million to go out, and not for our office, but for community-based organizations and households to do that digital literacy training, to make sure, like, if you go online and you think you're ordering groceries and you think you're putting your credit card in to get groceries and you're scammed, how to know the difference between that and the actual Foodland portal where you're really ordering. So we want to make sure that people have the proper skills. But then if you take this training, a lot of households, we found out all they have for maybe 2 generations in their house is one cell phone. So we want to make sure that the people who get in to take this training also have the opportunity to get a device, another iPhone, right? A Chromebook, or maybe a tablet. Yeah. So there is true accessibility in that household, not what I just heard from the resident manager at in some of our affordable housing residences. 3 generations of a family in one house, one phone contact number for the whole house for 13 people. So that's not economic opportunity for them. That's what she said.
Gosh.
Yeah. She calls and she asks to talk to, your sister, your grown adult sister, but they live in the same place. It's an affordability issue. So how do we help provide them that opportunity, to get their health care, to look for a job, to conduct a job if all you have at your house is low bandwidth internet as well as no hardware to be online and to do that kind of work or job search.
Okay, so just in case you joined in and you heard the middle of what we just said and you really need service and you're that family that we're talking about, how can they get a hold of you guys or where they need to, do they go to the Oahu?
So the information about this program that we haven't yet launched is on our regular website called revitalizeoahu.org.
Okay.
And we have information on there about the what's called BEAD, Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program that the federal government is putting literally hundreds of millions of dollars in. So ultimately, where people will be able to go is what they call community anchor institutions, but what we call is that place we go, like your mom, Nānākuli, right?
Yeah.
That place we go. That's where we go to get help. It might be a church. It might be Nānākuli. It might be Safe Haven. But that's where we go to kind of get information, maybe connect with our neighbors, a community center. And those are the organizations that the office is going to be funding to help get these resources, to help get the hardware out to our communities who don't have them in their house right now, or maybe it's just not high speed where they can actually do their work at home or be online like they need to be.
I think my morning show producer got to talk about getting high speed in our studios.
Uh-oh.
Right, producer Leah. Look, she's big. Yeah, no, like it's so hard for us to connect sometimes in the morning. Thinking a big radio station, right?
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I can see her shaking her head like, oh God. We gotta laugh about some of the challenges we have, and what we see or what we take as our phone. Some of us who are privileged and can have the things that we have and how easy and accessible. It's not like that for a lot of people. And I see it in the community where, I'm out about just about every week, every other day. We out and about. We see the challenges. So it's so important. So important. Like, are you guys working with the schools too? In like some small way?
As much with the schools, but more of the organizations that serve the schools. So like, Palama Settlement is an area that our immigrant services team is doing some outreach to work with the teens and help them think about their future, their career, whether it's being, taking that passion that they have and turning it into a business, or thinking about some of the areas where we're providing the free job training at the University of Hawaii at goodjobshawaii.org.
Goodjobshawaii.org. Okay, when we come back, we'll wrap things up and we'll backtrack and make sure you guys get all the information you need, so get your pen and your paper, so that you can get all this information down. It's the right side, a common sense conversation, 808-913-6450, just in case you want to try to get in, because the phone lines are banging right now.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
All right, 808-913-6450. We got a couple of minutes left as we, wrap up. We talk entrepreneurship, job training, all the things that, we know our community needs. We talked about high-speed internet, making sure that, you get the resources you need so that you can get the job that you're searching for or you're dreaming about. And it's so important. Amy, how do you want to, your final thoughts in this last couple of minutes? And I'm going to pass it over to you, Alyssa, because I know we gave out a lot of information. We gave you guys an opportunity to log on to a website where you can get connected. So we want to make sure that we get that out and you get an opportunity to be a part of what we do here in the city.
So, Again, oahubusinessconnector.org/idea to biz. If you have a business idea and you are a West Side resident and you want to turn it into a business, the applications are open right now until until June 2nd. Application is super straightforward and easy to apply. Let us know if you have any questions. Please give us a call, 808-768-2622. Again, oahubusinessconnector.org/idea to biz. If you want to start your own business and you live on the West Side.
Awesome.
Oh, what is that? Are you? Oh, okay. Thank you. I said, "Wow, we got a phone call."
No.
Oh, did you see that, Max? I was so excited. I was like, producer Leah.
He did a backflip.
Oh, she was like,
with the headphones on.
I thought it was like numbers. I was like, all right. Do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Tell me why you love it. Because, the thing is like, people can tell by the voice, whether you love it, you love doing something or not, you know what I mean? And it seems to me like you love doing what you're doing, helping people, and tell me a little bit about, why you like doing what you do.
Well, I spent over 10 years running a business myself. I love that too. But entrepreneurship can be hard. It can be lonely. And I just know so many of my friends and other colleagues who really just didn't make it along the way. But had there been a program behind them, especially a program run by a municipality, giving them the encouragement, giving them the resources, what that would have meant. So I love just being able to help the community and being able to provide a space and a place for folks to be able to connect with each other, connect with the city, and help small businesses.
That's awesome. Amy, I know you, I see other people in the studio. And I've heard Max talk. Max has a lot of questions when we were at the Hawaii Plantation Village, and he's over there quiet,
Well, you have a team in the city, and we have a team at the Office of Economic Revitalization. Okay. And we have two other fantastic, amazing, public service committed folks that are with us here. One is Max Rodriguez.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
See, look, it's a good voice. You should have been
radio voice.
I felt like you were inviting me on the mic, so I just let you put on the headphones and just creep my way over to the mic.
Yeah. And Melissa welcome. Chan is here.
Hi,
she
Melissa.
is our digital media specialist.
Oh, okay.
The things that would take me like 2 hours or 2 days to do, she can be like, and you click this and you do that. And I was like, oh, thanks.
See, yeah, we all need that. We all need that in our office. And we got one guy, Josh, does an amazing job. And yeah, very, very thankful. You got like last minute thoughts?
Well, I guess, what you were talking about is I love working in the city. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the reason why is because the things that we do in the city are really connected to people, and they're just everyday lives. And so we have an opportunity to help and to give back. We can live maybe this purpose of why we're here on this planet, why we were lucky to be born, live in this most beautiful place on the earth, and give back to the people that we live next door to. And so I think what we're trying to do in the Office of Economic Revitalization is to give people hope, to provide opportunities, and to understand, like, it's not easy whether you live here or in Las Vegas or wherever else people think, it'd be better on the other side. Really, we have each other here. We can see the beginning and the end of our universe on this island. And we know who we're trying to help, right? Because we actually get to know. Yeah. There's 9 council members you can talk to when you need help.
Right.
And the same at the Office of Economic Revitalization. You got our number, 768-2622. You got our website.
We'll
There's real people behind it.
One more time.
And we want to help.
Get the number down. One more time.
808-768-2622. I said it right.
Yes, we are like the roll up your sleeve, and that's what we do. That's why I love doing it, because, I wake up every morning and I have a purpose in like really helping the community. And in city government, you can do that. You can really do that, and your office is providing that for our community members. So again, if you live on the West Side, here's your opportunity. It's oahubusinessconnector.org. Okay, oahubusinessconnector.org. Kayo, you got one question? Look like you're ready for ask a question. Huh?
I do not.
He just looks curious.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming by. Kaya, do you have fun? This is your first time doing the radio show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Malia's back next week, but anytime you come in, you can always join us, right, producer Leah? Yeah, we gotta change the hand motions because I got excited. We got a call, which would be an amazing. That would have been our 1,000th call of the day.
Yeah,
I throw it out there because one day the phone lines are gonna go off the hook.
Yeah.
Because we are here live and we are here for you. That's the reason why I do this on a Wednesday. And I have to. I am here because we want to find ways of getting right information to you folks right there listening in the radio or in your cars or at home so that you can get the right information so that you can get the help you need. That's the reason why, I love doing the show. We've talked everything from child abuse to, we had the Honolulu Zoo here. We talked zoo, stuff that, that matters to, yes. We talk police issues. We talk e-bike. It's just another way of, giving people information. I hope you guys got a lot today. Again, OahuBusinessConnected.org, OahuBusinessConnected.org. The number again?
768-2622.
All right. On behalf of Kyle and everybody here, we'll see you guys next week for another Right Side, a common sense conversation. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye.